This and each and every episode of the Hook It podcast is supported by 35 Bikes. 35 Bikes are dedicated to bringing you the best bike components for the best prices. So if you need brake pads, organic or sintered, maybe you need mud guards, front, rear, fat bike guards, whatever, or maybe some brake rotors, head to 35bikes.com. That's 35bikes.com. Enter promo code podcast at checkout and you can get 10% off your next order and take advantage of free shipping. Or head to your local bike shop, ask for 35 Bikes products, pick them up and change your life. It's that simple. Voila. We all want to have a better life and we all want to make changes to make a better life. And sometimes you've got to start at the basics. Every day when you wake up, one of the first things you do is you put on a pair of boxer shorts. You're probably putting your feet through them thinking, what am I doing with my life? These things are threadbare. They're a bit brown on the inside, a bit yellow at the front. They stink. They don't fit good. And straight away, your day is off to a bad start. So what you can do is you can make sure you're wearing Saxx underwear. The ballpark pouch keeps your piece in place and your pieces in place all day, prevents any sweating or chafing, so straight away you're driving to work or riding to work and you feel better about yourself, you're going to have a better day. Saxx supports this podcast, so support them by make sure you wear a set of Saxx underwear. Right, enough of that, let's get on with this podcast.
Hi, I'm Ollie Wilkins and this is the Hook It podcast. Hold tight, freshers. Okay.
What's going on, friends? Welcome back to Podcastville and another episode of the Hook It podcast. Episode number 32 today with Jasper Flashman. Before we get on with that, a couple of quick thank yous. Thanks everyone once again for the amazing response from Ollie Forster's episode from Sender Magazine. Actually our most downloaded episode now, which is incredible. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, amazing. Which kind of leads me on to my next point. I was reading through some of the iTunes reviews yesterday, actually, and noticed that there's a few not so nice ones about sound quality. So it led me to sort of dig deep into what was going on and if the sound quality was good or not. Now, I never really ever listened to these things back because I don't like the sound of my own voice, but it was apparent that maybe was an issue with my microphone. So I looked into it, and it turns out that my microphone has been broken for about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 episodes. So I'm so sorry I didn't notice, but my laptop was picking up my voice, so you couldn't really tell there was a problem. So hopefully this one sounds a little bit better. If not, I don't know, it just is what it is. But hopefully this one's good. Exciting day today at Hook It. We released the new joystick binary stem. We did a full dealer launch today, which is Tuesday, the 22nd. So we had everyone posting about it, all the dealers got involved, and it's gone down really good. If you've not seen that stem yet, make sure you check it out. It's the new binary stem, 125 grams, both clamp sizes, obviously 31.8 and 35 and 50mm lengths, and it's pretty sick. We're stoked. Probably the best product joystick I've come up with to date, but there's plenty more happening pretty soon. So, again, thank you for the feedback. Although some of it wasn't positive, it was really nice to see it. And, you know, I always want to keep improving this show and making it better. And it made me, it forced me into figuring out what was going on. So, a positive from a negative. Stoked to have Jasper on the show. I think it's going to be an interesting chat. Should be a bunch of fun. Underrated is probably an understatement for this kid. So, let's delve deep. Let's see what's going on with Jasper. And let's get on with the show. All right, man, we're recording. Jasper Flashman on the show today, episode number 30. How's it going, dude?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, good. As I was just saying, it's humid as hell. I have to have the window shut because I've got a train line pretty much behind my house. So if I have it open, you get like intercity train going past every couple of minutes.
Nice, yeah. I know that one. It's not a train, but I live right on the corner of a shit road. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, yeah, apart from that, man, things are great, thank you. Yeah, can't complain at all. Been busy week. But, yeah, it's all good. I can't complain. We're just cracking on.
Good.
So, people don't want to hear from me anyway and what's going on in my life. Who gives a shit? So, Jasper Flashman, where should we start? I guess let's just start at the beginning with you. How did you initially get into riding?
Downhill, or
I don't know.
just
Let's start with two-wheel sport because kind of I know you've got a bit of a cool history.
Yeah.
So
I kind of go all over the place.
Just start at the beginning, man. When you were born.
Well, yeah, mate, I got a little bike when I was small and never really looked back on a bicycle.
Right.
And then badgered my dad after he took me to a motocross race when I was about 4. Badgered him for years and years until he bought me a 60, and then went off doing that for a long time. But whilst I was doing all that, I always rode BMX trails and a little bit of BMX race, and then I got into 4-cross for a very small amount of time, but met some cool people like Steve Gill and a few other guys that were around at the time. And but mountain bikes, really, I was more of a dirt jump rat, really.
Right.
I just like jumping and hanging out at the skate park and stuff like that. But and then I started wanting to jump bigger and bigger stuff, even when I was a kid. Like I used to jump tabletops at the moto on hardtails and get told off by my dad because I nailed myself a couple times.
Yeah, I saw a video of you, and the Epic TV thing they did is really good. Actually, if people haven't seen that, like go watch it 'cause it's super good. And your face was all smashed in from jumping in.
Oh yeah, yeah. He wasn't stoked, but no, it was good and enjoyed it. I grew up a bit different to most people. Right. Sort of didn't really go to school much because I was taught at home by my parents a bit. And well, I did do a little bit of school, but didn't get on so good there.
Okay,
but so yeah, loads of motocross and festivals and music events and stuff we used to go to, and bit of a hippie, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So where are you based right now? You're down south, right in Cornwall, is that right?
Well, I'm actually in Plymouth, which is right on the edge.
Yeah.
I grew up in vans all over Cornwall.
Okay.
But so I class myself as Cornish.
Okay.
So
that's interesting though. Like I want to. Obviously, you've had a bit of a motocross past now. People will already be screaming at the phone or whatever because I always end up talking about motocross. But I think I'm from a motocross background too, so it's an easy tangent for me to go down. I'm gonna try not to go down it too hard, but I think it's a good starting point for anyone who ends up getting into mountain biking. Do you know what I mean? Like it seems like loads of people come from moto.
The thing with because I genuinely fully make up what I do on a downhill bike as I go along.
Right.
I am fully relying on my old motocross background, really.
Right?
Bit of BMX as well, but you know, all the big jump stuff and that, I'm just like, well, I'll do it on a moto, so I'll do it on a push bike.
I think it's probably some of the fest stuff and whatnot that you're doing, which obviously we'll get to in a bit, but that is way more moto than most type of mountain biking.
Yeah, it's moto for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good crossover. What sort of like level of moto were you riding when you were younger?
Well, I was shit when I started. In all honesty, I was awful, and the local kid that was fast used to lap me 3 times, and then but by the year after, he was only lapping me once, and then by the 3rd and 4th year, I was racing with him and beating him, so I improved quite quickly.
Awesome.
And then when I was about 14, 15, I started doing some nationals, and actually ended up doing pretty well.
Right.
Started off the season like top 15, and then by the end I was in top 10.
Wow.
Like all the time. Ended up, I think I was like, this was BYMX.
Okay. Yep.
And
I did some of those when I was a youth too. So how old are you?
I'm 30.
Wow, you same age as me, man. I bet we raced together when we were younger.
Yeah. It was 2004.
Right, okay.
I think it was 2004.
Like 16-ish? 15,
yeah,
16,
that's what I was, 15, 16, yeah.
Okay.
So, and I think I ended up like 14th overall that year.
Wow.
And then, but obviously, like I say, I started kind of like further back, but by the end, I was always in the top 10 at the end of that year. And then I got a 252 stroke pretty much straight away.
Oh right, you went the other way.
Yeah, and then bought, because we couldn't afford to tune the bikes. I was riding stock bikes, and you know what it's like. And
man, it's expensive out there.
Yeah, so yeah, we went 252 stroke, and I was just riding local stuff, did some remedies, and then I actually got the guy who was running the British at the time offered me an entry to the Maxis. So I was like, oh, all right, let's go have a go at this. And the first one I went to, my throttle jammed as I hit a jump, and I had a massive crash. It was huge. Lucky to fucking not die. It was serious. My dad was like, "Whoa, he's done it this time." But
I remember
somehow walked away.
That happened to me on a 125.
Yeah.
125. Did you ever ride Finningley back in the day?
Yeah,
This way, it's sand track.
Yeah.
And it's going down to this left-hand corner, and the throttle stuck on wide open. I obviously went straight over this berm, wiped myself out.
Yeah.
Pushed the bike back to the van. I literally watched my dad barely do anything to this bike. He barely touched it, and he was like, "Will you go back out and try it?" I was like, "Not a prayer am I getting back on that thing."
No.
Like, you think you're riding them fast until a throttle sticks on, and then you're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. I was fully. I don't remember much because I was knocked out, but.
Right.
I've seen photos and stuff of it, and people that were there were like, "Oh my fucking god, how did you walk away from that?" So, but in fact, Mono Mono Bartlett,
Aaron.
filmer,
Aaron,
he was there.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was there. I think Milky was there as well.
No way.
Because they always go, "Fuck man, how'd you get away with that?" So, yeah.
Brilliant.
And then after that, so I was ready for the British champs, but we ran out of money, and me and my dad fell out, and it was just, that was the end of it.
I think that's what a lot of people. Well, it happens to a lot of people.
Oh, there's
like a point, isn't there? There's like a tipping point where if your parents aren't prepared to remortgage a house or are really, you know what I mean? Or are really wealthy, like give up, basically.
Yeah, we were on a shoestring anyway, and it was we went as far as we could. There were teams were like, we're gonna help you out next year, and then we got to a point where we speak to them, and they're like, "Oh no, you got to give us 20 grand first," and we were just like, "What?"
That's nuts.
So,
I don't even know. I'm guessing it does still happen, but I remember.
Oh, it happens more now than ever.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember Tommy Searle. I used to know Tommy quite well back in the day. For anyone out there not like listening, he's a British Championship or World whatever Championship motocross rider. I remember him buying onto a team and the amount of money it cost. Yeah. And his parents remortgaged houses and oh man, it was insane. But I know him personally, and for sure, it is there. There was another guy at the time, Ray Rosen, who was faster, and he got nothing because his dad refused to pay. That's
crazy,
isn't it? How it works out.
Oh, it's so messed up, so messed up. But
that's moto, right? Let's nip moto in the bud, because people will be getting pissed off. I can feel it. I can feel it. So okay, so the motor is finished. Obviously, I'm guessing you started riding a little more like BMX and trails and stuff like that.
Well, he ran out of money, so I literally just rode BMX down. We had a good little trail spot and a good little skate park and things, and just did that for a few years. But I also, a few times when I was riding moto, I went riding with an old school racer from down here called Ash Mullane, who's he was good in his day, as it were, but he bought a motocross bike and smashed himself up. But but I went out with him a few times, when I was probably about 17, 18, and he convinced me to buy a bike. So I did. I got a Transition dirt bag, which is like a short travel, and I rode that a bit. Went to France, Morzine with him, and had a wicked time, but realised that I didn't have enough money to drive to the mountains all the time, so I was like, sod that, and got rid of it because it's flat as hell over here.
Yeah.
So, and then left it alone for years. But when was it? 2014.
Okay.
I'd done all right with work and stuff, so I had enough money to buy a bike, and I always wanted to go to Whistler. A friend of mine lived out there, and he was badgering me for years and years. Come out here, you'll love it, you'll love it. So I bought a bike and went. It was, to be honest, I seen the first Loose Fest.
Right.
I seen that on a video, and I've never followed downhill, so I didn't know really anyone was. I knew a few names like Andreu, obviously, because he's everywhere, and But I didn't know Nico was or anything like that. But
So
yeah,
just
I went
quickly before we go into that. I'm just curious. What did you do in between? Because you said you had a few years off. Was it doing the normal stuff like drinking and stuff?
Yeah, but I did play with FMX a little bit.
Oh, really? Right. Okay.
Yeah, got into that. Still love it, but I struggle with the people that are involved in that game. It's very it's full of big egos, and it wasn't really for me on that front. So, but if I had a little setup, I'd still be doing it. But that's one day I'll get another little setup going, I expect.
Sick.
But and yes, I did a lot of drinking, a lot of fighting, a lot of general chaos. But yeah, lost it for a little while. I think with a moto coming to an end quite abruptly.
Yeah,
I put so much into it, and then
it's
it
just
stopped, and
ends, like because you're still wanting that like adrenaline rush and stuff. And
for sure.
I see it all the time with. I mean, I've been quite connected with Speedway and stuff like that over the years, and you know, when the season ends for those guys, it's literally like, right, what can we do now for that rush? And it's usually drinking and drugs and whatever.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it is always hard, especially when you thrive on that stuff. If you're not getting it, it's like, dude, where do you get it from?
I'd say I definitely got a little lost for a little while.
Something's good for you though. Sometimes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, got it off my chest.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Yeah. So,
okay. Sorry.
But yeah,
Whistler.
Yeah. Well, what a place, eh?
I've never been actually.
Oh, you must go. I've got to say, as soon as I got there, I was a bit like, oh, this is pretty cool. Oh. Seen some bears and some bear cubs, which was cool because I've always liked my wildlife.
Okay.
And then I was just I couldn't believe how many people I knew from BMX and just other walks of life that were there.
Right.
I was a bit like, oh bloody hell! And then because I'd been riding at home for I don't know, a couple of months, I guess. I met a few people, and then all of a sudden they were all there, and I spent a lot of it riding by myself and just having loads of fun, really, because that's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely.
And I met a couple of guys. One of them's a guy called Ben Walker. He's a marketing guy for Scott. I didn't know this at the time, but he was a cool guy, and rode with him and his missus a bit, and was good. Had a good fun, and then I'd only been there about a week to 2 weeks, and they had the whip off thing. And I ended up riding with all sorts of people, like our dog. Didn't have a clue who he was at the time, but he was a dude, and we rode bikes together, so that was cool. And then I made a bit of a cock of myself on the lift with Semonet because I knew the name, but I didn't have a clue what he looked like. And I ended up on the chairlift with him, and I looked at his helmet and seen it was Red Bull, and I went, "Oh, you must be pretty good. Or are you one of those guys that got like a copy spray job done?" And he looked at me like, "What the fuck?" And I laughed, and then he was like, "Oh, you're right." And I was like, "Yeah." And then we had a little chat and got to the top. And as he got off, I read his jersey. It said Semonet, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, man."
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah, so that was quite funny.
Sometimes it's good to be naive, though. You know, you didn't want to be going over there hunting these people out. Do you know what I mean?
No, that was because that was the only person I knew what he looked like.
Yeah.
And I knew he was involved with the like big jump stuff. Was Aggie.
Okay.
And I tried to talk to him, and he was really fucking rude. So I was a bit like, "Well, fuck you then." But and left it at that. But I had a sick time. Met the CP gang boys, like Pascal, Lewis, and stuff. And I heard they were going on a bit of a road trip to Kamloops. Mm-hmm. So I ended up jumping in with them and went and had a sick time there, and flipped a downhill bike on some stuff, and just had a real good time. Yeah. But obviously they know everybody, and I got to meet more people. And then I came home, and Nico invited me to the Royal Fest. Shit. Which I was a little bit like, fuck, it's uh-oh.
So, like, literally, at this point, you've been riding, like, mountain bike downhill for not that long. On
an actual downhill bike, like 2 months. So I was a little bit like, and I was super, like, I was fat and unfit. Like, it wasn't like I was in my prime. Yeah. And I went there and was like, right, well, I put my armour on and dropped in behind Nico and over-jumped the fuck out of the first jump.
Really?
Well, to be fair, I didn't. I think I only got that jump right once the whole week I was there. But And then I was fucked it, so I was like, oh bollocks. So I just pushed straight back up. And Andre was like, oh, do you want to follow me? I was like, nah, fuck it, I'm going. And I somehow managed to make it to the bottom. Like, got all the way through and was like, whoa, what the fuck? And then I was, to be honest, I was hooked from then on. The big jump and the stuff Nico builds is just fucking brilliant. It's brilliant. It's really good. Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow. I mean, God, so much to break down, really. I mean, what the hell was going through your mind when you rock up? You've barely been riding a downhill bike. Obviously, you're probably used to seeing big jumps from other sports like moto or BMX or whatever, but like those things are monstrous.
The ones in Belgium?
All of them. Anything that they build is huge.
They are big, yeah. The Royal Hills is way scarier.
Okay.
Because you've got to be super precise all the way down, and that was... Well, I like that. I always like the Supercross type tracks with the moto, so I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. It's really good.
Okay.
But, the big jumps, I mean, like I say, I hit some pretty big stuff on a moto, so I was like, right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I've always liked that.
Is it kind of all relative too for people who maybe don't really have a clue about this sort of stuff? Obviously, with speed and just the size of the gap, is it just a case of I don't know?
Yeah,
brain off and just sending it.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the thing is, when you see somebody do it already, it's like, oh, okay, cool. You kind of can judge it, can't you?
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Yeah, so I think. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be the first man to go without seeing it. You know,
I was going to say when you roll up, it's like right, you're going to hit these things first. Like
well, like last year at Loose Fest, I was ready. Like I had a bit of experience and I was excited to be there, and I went just to drop in and give it straight away and hit the first jump, hit the second jump, was going way too fast.
Uh-huh.
And fucking OJ'd the hell out of it, overed the head tube on my frame, and how I didn't nail myself, I'm not sure, but
so sort of biggies really then up to now, right? Pretty plain sailing.
What's that like crash wise?
Yeah.
Oh no, I've had some monsters. When I was riding motocross, I did not learn the easy way, shall we say?
Okay.
I smashed myself to bits. I really did. Oh, fully all the time. Yeah. So it was. So I remember my uncle who used to race years ago. He said, "Well, some people learn how to go fast, and others learn to crash fast." And that's
that's so true.
That is pretty much how I did it. Yeah.
So like, are you from like a background of this sort of stuff too, like parents and stuff like that, or?
No, my dad's not. He's a bit mad, and my mum. Right. They're both a bit mad. They used to ride road bikes a lot on the road fast. Oh. My mum used to do a lot of horse, not so much jumping, more like tricking, I guess.
Tricking.
Circusy type shit.
Oh, really?
Guess,
wow.
Like that, yeah. And she used to be in a motorcycle display team, like an all girls thing. I think they were called Auto Angels or something. I think they were called.
Okay.
But so they're all they're pretty outgoing, both of them. Not so much now; they're old and knackered now. But so I kind of got a bit of that in it. My brother rode BMX, which I suppose got me into it initially when I was really young. But he got into drugs and partying too much. So, so not massively. I mean, my uncle and cousin, they rode moto, but I didn't really have much to do with them when I was young, so it didn't really come from the influence wasn't from them.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah,
really interesting. So, so Fest series, you're pretty much riding all of them consistently now, right?
Well, to be honest, it's Nickos ones, because I mean I don't know all of them that well.
I was going to say, is it quite strict? Invite.
Yeah, I was. I got to say, I was quite surprised how tight they keep it, because I was sort of like, how the hell have I ended up here? Because I'm nobody. So, the first one I went to, I didn't realize, I didn't even know who fucking Kurt Sorgi was, for fuck's sake. But now I've done my research a bit. I'm like, oh, actually, okay, this guy's legit. So, he's a nice guy too. He's a real nice guy.
Yeah, shredder too, absolute shredder.
Yeah, he doesn't talk. No bullshit. He just gets
Really?
gets in there and gets on with it. Yeah, it's cool. I like that about him for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do seem pretty tight with it. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, if you did let every Wally in there, it would kill what it is, I guess, wouldn't it? So
it's kind of like, in a way, like dirt jumping. Like it's similar, you know what I mean? Like over here, it's pretty tight. You know, you usually have to ask permission to go ride someone else's trails. It's a similar sort of vibe, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. I just the main thing about it is there's no like competition. Everyone's just there to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's for me very attractive with it, you know. So it's cool. It's a cool event, and with the motos, like Loose Fest's cool, and the owner and stuff. They're really nice people, and it's just a nice atmosphere, you know. So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's pretty sick to see like Berryman and stuff ride those things.
Yeah. He's a cool guy.
I'm a huge fan of that guy.
Yeah,
huge fan of that guy. Style,
yeah.
the whole thing, like the whole package is
yeah.
it.
Yeah, he's got a good attitude as well, so it's good. It's good
for sure. So, one thing I wanted to ask you is like, you kind of, don't take this the wrong way, kind of come across as under the radar a little bit.
I've heard that a lot.
That's maybe no, dude. It's a good thing, I think. I mean,
well, to be honest, I'm not searching for fame. I never have.
That was kind of going to be my roundabout question. It's like, you know, obviously you work as well, right?
Yeah. I'm not. I literally I don't get any money.
Right.
I just get parts support, you know, and you know, if you can call it. I wouldn't even call it semi-pro, you know, because I still pay to go places.
Yeah.
So, I think there's not a huge amount of support out there for 30-year-olds that have kind of come from nowhere, no background.
I don't know. I think there's this movement of like, you know, like what the 50-1 guys are doing, for example.
Cool.
You know,
they're
obviously
such a cool bunch of guys.
Bunch of guys making rad edits, and you know. Yeah, it's not all about money, don't get me wrong. It really isn't. But, you know, those guys are getting a lot of YouTube views, and for brands and stuff, like, you can't buy that stuff, you know.
It's marketing, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I'm very I'm learning about it, but I don't really want to sell out, you know. I mean, I really appreciate the support that I get, and I wouldn't still be riding if it wasn't for Scott, you know, looking after me and Bergtech and other guys, you know, I wouldn't, and Cloves,
it's expensive too, obviously, especially at that sort of level when you're going to be hopefully you're not breaking stuff, but
I destroy bikes. So yeah,
it's a funny game because obviously you've kind of got to be out there to get the stuff, and
right.
It's a funny one. I mean, like I was literally just talking to my friend before we started recording this, and he asked me who was on the show, and I was like, oh, it's Jasper Flashman. He's like, okay, I've kind of heard of him, rides first series. I'm like, yeah. He says, he said, ask him why he's not out there more.
Yeah, well, I keep getting told by Joel and Tom are on it with me all the time. They're like, come on, man, do something.
But if it's not your vibe, then it's not your thing. You know, you can't.
Yeah, that's the thing is with me is if we go to film something, then it'll just look shit because I'm like all tense and not feeling it.
Right.
If you just hide behind a tree or something, I just give it when I'm doing my own thing, and
I kind of hate that it's like that in a way. Like, I mean, we get sponsorship stuff sent through to Hook It and whatnot all the time, and I kind of hate that it's you have to be like how many Instagram followers do you have, and how often are you posting, all that sort of stuff, but. Unfortunately, it's kind of what brands and whatnot.
Well, it's advertising, and they've got everybody by the balls, especially the riders.
Yeah.
Like, and it does seem like that. But I do, I don't know much in depth, but it does seem that there's a huge amount of industry around boys that aren't really getting much out of it, and I do see that a bit, and I'm a bit like, glad I'm not in those guys' shoes, spending all that money traveling and for a free frame and some wheels. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
There's obviously certain guys out there. I'm guessing some of the Fest guys as well who are earning a good wage out of it.
I guess some of them are. I know some of them don't.
Yeah.
But
I think
some
a lot of people would be surprised actually, like how little.
I
earn.
Yeah, I think they would be. You know.
Yeah.
Like. I can earn more money welding in 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's they're not on megabucks for sure.
Is that what you do for a living then? You welder?
I'm a bit of an everything man. But
Oh, really?
I've got into trail building at the minute.
Yeah.
That's something I've always done as well on the side. I've always dug my own jumps and tracks and whatever.
Okay.
I've done a bit of moto track stuff and with going and riding all that stuff and not having anything to ride when I was at home. And
Kind of frustrating, right?
Yeah, very frustrating. And I got introduced to a property developer in Cornwall who just bought a big plot of land and we've built a bike park basically. There's all sorts there. There's some big stuff there.
Sick.
And intending to have some very big stuff there.
So this is Woody's Bike Park.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I wanted to come on to this. So tell me more about it. So who's the guy? Is he involved in the industry at all, or is it just a random dude?
No, he's not involved in the industry. Like I say, he's a property developer, but he's a very passionate cyclist. He rides road bikes, he rides cross country, he rides downhill. And fair play to him. We've bullied him into jumping some fair jumps down there, and he gets stuck in and he goes for it. So it's cool. The passion's there, which is what's making it work, really.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And where is it?
It is between Foy and Parr in Cornwall.
Okay.
It's if you go check it, if you want to check, anyone wants to check it out, just go onto woodiesbikepark.com. Sweet. And all the info's on there.
Open to the public as well?
Yeah, open to the public. It's at the moment it's uplift only, but that's only because we haven't had time to put the push-up route in.
Okay.
But that will be happening soon. It's been I think it's 3-4 weeks it's been open now, and everybody's loving it. There's stuff there for complete beginners. My 6-year-old lad, he rides the blue, loves it all day, and then there's the double black, which is it's
bigger.
It's all big and it's all got big holes in the middle. So yeah.
So what's your involvement been in that then? Like how did you guys get linked up and stuff?
Through a mutual friend, someone I know in motocross who's also a ground worker. He's a big contract ground worker.
Yeah.
And he just phoned me and said, I know I've met this guy that's got some land and wants to build some tracks. And that was literally how it was, just through friends, really.
Right.
And he was down there with a bulldozer to start with.
Yep.
And and he's going to help with the big line as well because he's got a lot of plant. So that's cool. Oh, Sean Champion, yeah.
Well, Sean, shout out Sean.
He's a good man, yeah.
Literal champion.
Yeah, literally. And so that's how it all came about, and it escalated from there. Really, we were going to build a few tracks, and we've ended up with 7 or 8.
Right. Wow.
So it's gone all right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you been planning like lines and everything? Have you done like the whole package almost?
Yeah, it's all designed
Sick.
by me, apart from one section of track that John himself, the owner that is, he'd already built before I got there, and it's cool little rock gardens and some slabs and stuff, and it's good.
Yeah, it sounds cool, man. And
Yeah.
there's nothing, or correct me if I'm wrong, I don't really know that area that well. There's not really much like that down that way. Is that right?
Well, if you go towards Tavistock, which is on the edge of Dartmoor, there's Gorton Gravity Hub, which is not at all jumpy. I did build a small section of jumps there.
Okay.
Last year,
the
year before,
yeah. I sort of know that area.
So that was the first little bit of trail building I'd done for the public.
Yeah.
Just to help them out, really. I wanted stuff to ride, so I did it for nothing. They did end up giving me some money, but I was fully intending on doing it for free. But just so we had something to ride, and then we built a pump track there. I think, we did a little. There was Wide Open did a little thing there with Monet and Jay Williamson.
I think I saw that actually.
Quick lad, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
there's a pump track there and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So, other than that, there's a few local trail centres, but they're not downhill. It's just for a family.
Yeah. Okay.
Not really thinking. I can't think of anywhere else. So I just went to Wales. I did. I just went up to Bevan's place at Black Mountains there, which is sick. So
yeah, I've not been to Black Mountains yet. I was chatting about this with Ollie. I've not been there. One of the guys we support, called Dave Camus, has been a few times, and I always watch his stuff, and it looks sick.
Yeah,
and I drive past it every now
good.
and again too. Obviously, I spend all my time out on the road, and I've just never managed to stop there yet and have a ride.
No, it's well worth a visit for sure.
Yeah, I need to get that way on, man. That's for sure. We'll have to go for a ride there one time.
Yeah, well up for it.
Yeah, for sure. So Fest series wise, has there been like a favourite event of yours yet?
Yeah, it's always Loose Fest.
Is it?
It's big and everybody's quiet and just, there's no bollocks there. That's what I really like about it. So, no one's going, oh yeah, I'm going to try a 360 double backflip. And everybody's just pretty humbled and like, yeah, this is fucking cool. So
that's cool. Favourite rider to ride with?
To ride with, it's got to be. Well, there's three of them that and it's Nico, Christoph, and Joel.
Right.
We went to Norway on a end of last year, and it started getting pretty out of hand. Everybody was getting faster and faster and pushing each other, and yeah, me and Nico quite often end up getting a bit moto with each other. And rubbing bars and nearly cleaning each other out. So yeah, it's good. I do enjoy riding with those guys.
Yeah.
And Vinny is all of them. They're all pretty fun to ride with. And of late, Josh Bryceland. I can't get over some of the things that guy does.
Yeah, I saw you went riding with Josh actually recently because obviously he went out and did. Oh God, where was the last one? Oh man.
Loose Fest.
Loose Fest, of course. Yeah, he was there with Craig. I mean, Craig's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
He lives obviously in Sheffield too, so
yeah.
I know Craig pretty well, and I was pretty stoked to see him hit those things. If I'm honest with you.
Yeah, good boys, man. Like they've got so much bike control. Those guys, it's sick.
And it's good to see Josh sort of cross over into doing that sort of stuff too. Obviously, coming from racing high downhill, and I saw after God, what was it on? It was on Pink Bike. I can't remember who asked him. Maybe Win asked him, will we ever see you race a downhill event? And he was like, can't see it, mate. It was so good.
Yeah.
He's just living it. It's cool.
Didn't he did one in Leger Chatel, or not Chatel, Leger Crankworks, didn't he?
He did, yes. He did do that.
He did all right, because I was funny, because I watched a couple clips, and he was like pissing around whilst he was doing. And then he did real good, but that's good. That's when it should be happening.
Yeah, you got to respect that side of things. I think.
Yeah, cool, every decision he's made on bailing from racing is legit, and I think it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
and I know a lot of people are giving him shit, but fuck them, innit?
Yeah, you got to do what's making you happy and what you're enjoying at the end of the day. That travelling schedule and training and stuff. It's not easy stuff. I mean, as downhill's growing, obviously it's getting more and more serious, and
well, they seem to be straightening those tracks out. It seems as well.
Well, yeah, it's definitely. Man, I'm so torn with the whole thing. Like, I'm not very opinionated on this side of things. I'm just like whatever. At the end of the season, who's been the fastest over the season is kind of the fastest. Let's be real.
It is. It doesn't really matter what the track's like.
But obviously, you want to watch it when it's gnarly and it's rough, and you know what I mean, and it's not just a bike park.
For sure.
That's kind of what you want to see. But yeah,
like the things you can do on these bikes is. I don't think the limit hasn't been found just yet.
True. Okay.
So, I don't think so. I think they are on the edge, especially if you're a bit heavier like me. But you look at those jumps that those guys started building and stuff, and it's obviously
it's wild. No, I agree with you. I agree. And it's going to be cool to see. I mean, like, how do you see the Fest series sort of stuff evolving and your own stuff? Do you think freeride's going to grow in the UK?
I think it already is, especially with like Joel, doing his thing, and Eisted coming from BMX, because he's like an acrobat, that guy.
Really?
Like, I've known him for years, and his aerial awareness is absolutely ridiculous. So if he starts transferring half the things over, onto his downhill bike, he's going to start raising the level a bit. He's already. I think he's been riding dirt jump for like a year, and he's already doing well. He's getting invites to the bigger events and stuff, which is, it's good. It's good to see. And
Nyquist, I mean, at Crankworks, what the hell?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe when I saw him on the podium, like, because I didn't watch it. I was just like, what the hell? That is so cool.
Yeah, I also think that shows it's good that he's progressed with the times and moved up through the age. I don't think he's that old, but he's not a young guy.
No, he's not a young buck.
But so, and it's cool to see. But I think every time I've seen that in any sport, if the older guy can be there, then things change soon after. That's how I've seen it with a lot of sports anyway. So
Yeah, makes sense.
the progression level's coming, and I think we will see it. It's especially as more of these BMX boys are jumping on these downhill bikes, and they're able to, ride fast and,
I think
do big tricks and things.
When you see dudes like Regatkin, for example, who has, to me, I mean, I'm not super knowledgeable on this sort of stuff, but seems to have stepped the game up a little bit, especially with the bigger stuff.
With his video game tricks, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's just nuts what that guy can pull.
Yeah, it is. They're doing mad things. Me personally, I'd rather watch someone bust some stees, but
mate, I was just gonna say exactly the same thing, because it's almost like watching freestyle motocross again to me. So it like back in the day, it was super cool to watch because it still had so much legs to it. Like, the backflip, for example, it was like, that's it.
Yeah.
The pinnacle of the sport is the backflip, and then it just keeps on going.
The progression is just
to
gone.
me, like,
and
I
gone,
watched X
it?
Games, and I was just like, what the hell? It's just flip, flip, flip. And Same. I'd rather watch, whips. And
Levi Sherwood.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same like that with mountain biking for me. That's kind of why I enjoy watching what you guys are doing, because there's not huge tricks all the time. It's just massive floaty air. It's just rad to watch,
I think that sort of stuff is much more, viewer friendly. I think. The trick. I've never been a massive trick fan, to be fair.
Okay.
So I like going fast, and I mean I like doing some tricks, but I'm not interested in doing double backflip 360s.
I think if you're not doing them now, dude, don't get into it.
So. Well, I don't know, lady. We're going to build a big mulch jump, so things will probably get out of hand.
Oh yeah, awesome.
So,
no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. So what you got going on for the future, dude? Like what's happening?
Well, actually, tomorrow actually I'm going to Austria with Ninja Gloves.
Sick. Staying with Fetty?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
awesome.
I'm out with Fetty.
Awesome.
Me and Joe are going to go out there and have a play at Brendental, I think it's called.
Okay.
They got a little bike festival on there, so we're going to go there.
Awesome.
And then we're going to go and catch the last week of Chatel and hopefully ride Nickos' new lines.
Yep.
And have a good time. And
so a couple of weeks out travelling and riding.
Yeah, a couple of weeks, and then the only thing I've got planned really after that is a couple of edits because I haven't done any, and I need to do some. I've just been working so much, struggling to do it all. So
yeah. You work 9 to 5 then, just out of interest. Are you pretty much?
Well,
I'm
self-employed.
Okay.
So I work when I need to, but at the moment with building the bike park, and I'm currently rebuilding my garage, so I'm busy. So yeah, busy. So
sweet. All right, dude. Well, I don't want to keep you too long either. So, do you want to do some of these listener questions?
Yeah, come on then.
All right, man. Yeah. Hang on. Okay. First one we had was classic Instagram name @hardtailor Boylet.
Jake Boylet, yeah.
Boylet, sorry. I can't read my own writing. How and why have you got all the body ink, and have you got any stories behind it?
Wow.
You're pretty tattooed up, right?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I've got to have a tattoo for this because it means this." I'll be honest, I have no meaning behind any of them. I just like tattoos. I like the art.
Yeah.
I weirdly quite like the pain. It's kind of like a challenge to like fight it, which I know is a little odd, but and there's no other reason. It's not to look hard or be something I'm not. I grew up around it. I grew up around bikers and hippies, and that tattoos are normal. My mum's got them. It's kind of normal to me. It's not.
Okay.
I know these days all the young kids have their hands tattooed before they have anything else done.
Yeah, it's always weird when you see that. I saw a kid like that not long ago in the shopping centre, and he had nothing apart from a rose on his hand. And I was like, dude.
Yeah. I actually worked. I wasn't tattooing, but I worked in tattoo shops, drawing up and taking bookings and stuff. My godfather ran one, so it was one of my first jobs, and so other than that, I just quite like them. I like the artwork. I like the designs. So simple as that, really.
You pretty head to toe, or?
Well, I've got 2 sleeves and my stomach and
Okay.
both my thighs and my shin. So yeah, fair bit.
Decent.
My hands and palm.
Have
So
you-
yeah, I got one on my neck as well. Yeah.
I think Sveti's girlfriend Alex. Does
Yeah.
she own a tattoo studio, or maybe she works in one? I
Yeah,
haven't quite worked it
yeah.
out
She's
yet.
yeah. I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one at Jockster9. Oh, it's not Jockster, it's Jackster. Jack Stocker. I'm so sorry. Calling
the
him
Stoker.
the Jacks.
Yeah.
Jacks. What is it? Do you know him?
Stoker, yeah,
Jack
he's a rad
Stoker.
dude.
Jeez.
He's. If we don't see more of him in the future, I'd be surprised.
No, really. I
He's-
should
yeah,
really
he's a-
learn to write these down better, man.
he's a cool guy actually, and I met him briefly at a local spot, and he was like, "Oh, I want to show you some stuff. I'm going to show you these cliffs that I've been riding." And I was a bit like, "Cliffs?" He was like, "Yeah, like cliffs." And so we went there one day. Oh my fucking god, they are insane. Like, and we were like struggling to climb up them, and he's like, "Yeah, just ride this bit and this bit," and I'm like, "You fucking serious?"
Wow.
And he's got his phone out and he's showing us videos of him hammering it, and yeah, I was well impressed. So I'm actually going to be doing something with him, so keep an eye out for that.
Awesome.
So,
Good to hear.
but yeah, that's enough. What was his question?
Favorite beverage whilst riding?
Oh, wow. Used to be Old Rosie, but it ain't that no more. Old cider. But
God, not had that for a few years, man.
to be honest, I've got a bit of a problem with the old Black Rockstar.
Have you?
So yeah, I drink a lot of them. Oh, I drink a lot of them fucking things. But yeah, I know I shouldn't. But,
No.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't need to go on a health tangent, but for sure, let's stop drinking
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Black Rockstar. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Next one came in from at Pedal Progression, who are a bike shop in Bristol.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know those guys. Bike shop in Bristol.
Fowler and Susie. Yeah, I do know those guys. Yeah.
How long till there's a fest round in Cornwall? A few people said that, dude. I'm not gonna lie. A few people wanted to know this.
I get asked that a lot.
I bet.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be a fest, but there is definitely going to be a big jump event.
Okay.
Awesome. And I've spoken to a few of the guys, and they're all keen for it. Whether it is going to be a fest or not is yet to be seen, but it will be a big jump event. I'm going to have bands there, and it's going to be at Woody's.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to have Moto boys there and the mountain bike boys. So yeah,
Sounds amazing.
there is going to be something happening at the end of next year, but I've still got to sit down proper and see if they're up for making it a fest. It'd be cool if they did. I think it would be cool.
It would. But even if it's
Yeah.
it would be sick. But even an event like that in the UK would also be just as sick.
I'd quite like to invite some of the British shredding boys as well, like the Huckers, the good lads, the Beasley
they reached
boys.
out on Instagram to me a little while ago actually, which was really nice of them.
They're cool guys, and they're fucking good riders too.
Awesome! Shout out Dusty Hookers on Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
They're
For
good
sure.
dudes. At 610 Slater, have you got any tips for learning no-footed cans?
Oh,
There you go.
bloody hell. Tips for no-foot cans. Make sure you don't kick your seat. that sucks.
You heard it here first.
I don't know. Maybe I guess what I do is I make sure I just concentrate on my step over foot and just let the other one go wherever. But I kind of try and get over the bike, I guess, when I do it. But so pop off the pedals. That's a main tip, I guess.
Okay.
Because you kind of have to jump up above the bike. So
I learnt these when I was younger. So my pro tip, not pro at all, because you'll probably hurt yourself. Learn one-footer cans first, really clean. Then learn massive no-footers, and then just send it. Yeah,
I would say for sure on a BMX that is definitely the best way to do it.
Okay,
not on a downer bike. Unless you've got really long legs.
Next one, at Tim from Wales. How big of a slice of pie can you eat, and what's your favourite filling?
Oh, in a pie. Wow.
Surely you'll
Is he
you'll be a Cornish pasty kind of guy.
I am.
surely.
I'm a pasty man. That's why I'm completely out of shape at the moment. I had a pasty a day for 6 months. But it depends on the pie, to be honest. If it was, I do like a steak and kidney pie, mind.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good
I
shout.
could do a big. I could do a big one of them, or apple pie. That's good too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
That's what everyone wants
How
to
big?
know, man.
No idea. Oh, right.
We got Ollie Mant on Facebook. This is the last one, dude.
Right. Yeah.
How do you see the Fest series progressing in the future? I know we kind of covered that a little bit, but
Well, I hope it continues how it set out. I guess just keeping it fun and not being too corporate and selling out too much. You know.
Yeah.
Keep it a bit more punk rock. I guess. I hope that's where it goes. I don't know. I think there's quite a lot of difference in character involved in it, so I'm not sure. You know,
Right.
I'm not sure if you know.
Is it like
how.
obviously is it like a collab thing where everyone organises it together, or is it like one?
No, it doesn't. Well, from what I see, it doesn't seem like that. I mean,
Right.
they all talk. They all talk to each other, I guess. But it seems to be they just do their event and then invite the guys, and that's how it is. But,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, as much as I know about it, I get that's what they do. So, they. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so that's their thing. So hopefully it does continue as it does.
Yeah.
Nico is going to push it until he can't push it no more. I know that much. You can just that guy he's on another level of riding for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
So
good stuff, man. Well, I forgot to mention as well, people out there listening, that I first messaged Jasper on Facebook and said, "Are you keen for doing a podcast?" And he asked me what a podcast was.
Yeah.
So
this is all new to me. Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not been too scary for you.
No, it's actually quite easy, to be honest.
Pretty easy, yeah. You just sit and have a chat, and that's it, man. It's like I was saying before, I try not to you know what I mean, to plan these things too much and have it appear structured or anything. It's easier just to sit and have a chat, and there's always interesting things which people want to know and try and shoehorn that in, and that's pretty much it. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Seems to be working so far, so yeah. It's down
Cool.
to rad guests though, like you guys that are making this thing work, so much appreciated. Thanks so much for your time.
No worries.
Have you got anything you want to promote, like links? Where can people find out more? Where can people follow you and all that sort of stuff? Just shout them out so people can do it.
Well, yeah, my Instagram is just Jasper Flashman 888.
Yep.
And Facebook's just my name. Someone set up a athlete page, but I ain't no athlete, so I fucked that off. But just my name, and yeah, just that and Woody's Bike Park.
Yes.
Come and have a ride at Woody's Bike Park because I'll put some fucking effort in there, and everybody seems to be having a good time when they come down, and it's nice to see people. And I've tried to make it so people can learn how to jump big jumps. So.
Well, I'm a head down too, man. So it'd be good to come down and we'll do some stuff. I don't know. We'll make something fun, like a video or something. Because I've not hit a big jump for many years, so that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, cool. I know it is. If it's all right, I'd like to just say cheers to a couple of guys that.
Oh man, please, for sure.
Keep me going,
Sponsors,
really.
all that
Sort
of stuff, please.
Yeah, that'd be sick. I mean, Ben Walker at Scott, he fucking keeps me going because I'm always smashing those things, and I'm just a bit. I think I can treat it like a motocross bike, and he looks after me on that, and
Good.
And Tim from Loose Riders, and Sveti from Ninja Gloves, and Dave Bergtech, and and even Josh and Lewis, like Bryceland and Lewis, they sent me some gear and stuff, and they pumped me a bit, and just it's cool that they're helping me out, and CTI braces as well. They're
important.
Keeping my knees in one piece. So
and I'll offer my if there's anything you ever need, like just holler, dude. It's no problem at all.
Yeah, sick.
I know you pretty much sort of a lot of stuff, but if there is anything we can do for you with Hook It, just let me know, man. We'll sort it out.
Cool. Appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. It's been a laugh. It's been fun.
Yep.
Good to hear some stories, man. And no doubt catch up soon.
Sick.
Take it easy.
Take care, man.
Peace, dude. Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Bye. Bye.
All right, folks, there we go. Episode number 32 with Jasper Flashman. As usual, huge thank you for everyone who has listened. Thanks so much for continuing to come back and leaving your support. Even if it's not 100% positive, it's really nice just to hear from people anyway. If you think there's something missing or something we can do better, just reach out, let me know. It'd be great, like I said, to hear from you. You can email me personally, actually. It's Davey, D-A-V-I, at hookitproducts.co.uk. Don't forget to support the people who support the podcast, 35 Bikes, Sax Underwear. Trailcast is coming soon too, which there's lots of planning going into this thing. It's going to be a totally different kind of concept to the Hook It podcast. It's going to be, there's all sorts of cool stuff happening with it, so keep an eye out on that. It's at the Trailcast on Instagram. Again, don't forget to follow us at the Hook It podcast on Instagram, Facebook, the Hook It podcast, and that's pretty much it. If you haven't already and you are enjoying these episodes, I can't stress enough how important it is for you to head to iTunes, leave a review. Just tell us what you think. Make sure it's 5 stars if you can. If it's a little bit less, then it is what it is. But 5's always best. All right, folks. Have a great week, and thanks again. Keep it real.